Carson Tate's video log. Today we're doing something completely different. I've been tagged in the next big thing, a blog hop. I'm doing a vlog hop, of course. I was tagged by Cheri Crystal, amazing author of romance, and asked to answer the same questions as the authors that tagged her and the ones before. So in the spirit of generational tagging and keeping up tradition, I shall answer the very same questions as all the others who have been tagged in this blog hop. And then I shall tag someone at the end. So let's begin. So I will tell you what the questions are, and then I'll tell you my answers that I make up here on the spot. What is the working title of your book? Well, my book, my most recent book is what I'm going to talk about, even though I'm writing a new one. My most recent book is titled Beyond Innocence, and it is not a working title. As you can see, it is on the actual book itself. And funny thing about titles, I have this inability to begin writing until I think of a title. And in all but one occasion, that title has wound up being the actual on the book printed title. So I have a title hang up. I have a thing about names, and so Beyond Innocence. The book I'm actually working on now is called Rush, and I have a release coming out in May called Battle Axe. But I diverge from the path of the great blog hop, so I will go to the next question now. Where did the idea come from for this book, Beyond Innocence? I'll give you a tiny piece of background. It's a romance set against the backdrop of a death penalty case. The idea for the book came from D. Jackson Lee. She and I were talking once about various ideas. I think I'd mentioned that I had seen John Grisham speak, and he was actually amazing. He was talking about his nonfiction work, The Innocent Man, which is about a case out of Oklahoma where a gentleman was exonerated after being placed on death row, and you know the work that went into that kind of a case. And Jackson and I were talking about various things, and she's a newspaper editor, and she's like, it would be a really good idea for a book is if blah blah. And we kind of played with that, and I pitched it to Radcliffe at Bold Strokes Books, and now it's an actual book in print with covers and everything, and a title. So what genre does my book fall under? Well, it falls under romantic intrigue. There is a legal matter pending, as well as love, because love and law go hand in hand. All right, so next question. Which actors would you choose to play your characters in a movie rendition? And I always avoid this question because the way I write, I tend to give enough descriptive factors that you can picture the main characters if you wish, but you can kind of conjure up in your head who you'd like those people to be. So I'm going to let you cast my movie, Beyond Innocence, and I'm going to shy away from that, even though I can think of a lot of good people, but we'll just wait till they're under contract and then I'll announce it. What is a one-sentence synopsis of your book? So I'm going to give you the one-liner on the back of the book. And when a love is on the line, I'll just start over because I totally flubbed that. When a life is on the line, love has to wait, doesn't it? Makes you want to dive right in, of course, doesn't it? All right, so now what's the longer synopsis of your book? So I'll read that, and I'll try not to do it with a theatrical voice. After a devastating professional embarrassment, Corey Lance has been banished from the courtroom. As part of her penance, she volunteers with an organization that works to free the wrongly convicted. And soon she's saddled with a case certain to set her up for another big defeat. To top it off, she's battling a strong attraction to her client's sister, a woman with unreasonable expectations. Serena Washington has learned to compartmentalize the negative pieces of her past except for one, her brother Eric, who's on death row for a murder he insists he didn't commit. Loyalty drives her to enlist help from an organization with a reputation for unparalleled success, but Serena's optimism is shaken when she learns the attorney assigned to the case has a reputation for cutting corners. her whole world is shaken as she begins to fall in love with her. So, next question. Will your book be self-published or represented by an agency? Well, I do not have an agent. I have direct agreement with Bold Strokes Books. They have published all of my books. This is book number 7, and I couldn't be a happier member of the Bold Strokes family. I think when you see that little Bold Strokes, this is hard because it's like looking in a mirror. When you see this little Bold Strokes logo in the corner of a book, you know you're getting quality stuff, and I'm proud to be part of that family. How long did it take me to write the first draft of my manuscript? Let's see. I would say about 4 to 5 months. And I generally will work on a book for about 6 months before I turn it in. So 4 to 5 months for a first draft, and then lots of revisions, and send it off to the editor. Who or what inspired me to write this book? I think I kind of covered that in the idea. I will say that kudos to John Grisham for for breaking from his fiction work and telling the story. He's also on the board of the Innocence Project, which is an organization that works to free the wrongly convicted based on DNA evidence. There are other organizations, offshoots of that, that do work in this area. The Southern Poverty Law Center, tons of law schools have clinics that work on these kind of cases. And again, thank you to my pal D. Jackson Lee, another Bold Strokes author, for kind of sparking the idea to write this particular romance. What else about this book may pique a reader's interest? Well, if you've read my books before, you may know that I like to make full use of my characters. If I have a plumber, I don't have any plumbers, but if I had a plumber in one book and I needed a plumber in another, I might use that plumber again. Because as a reader, I kind of like to see friendly faces, and I think it's kind of fun to see some of those people again. So while the main characters in this book are completely different than any I've ever wrote before, and you have not seen them, and the story is a complete standalone, there is a reappearance of a character from a recent work of mine, and it was just kind of fun to throw her in the mix and let her do a little more work, because, a character's work is never done. I think that is all the questions that I'm required to answer in the vlog hop post. My job now is to tag another author, and I'm going to tag a pal of mine. Her name is Ashley Bartlett, and she's the author of Sex and Skateboards, that came out last year, and she just had a new release, so I thought it'd be fun to have her talk about that. It's the first book in a trilogy, and I've had the privilege to read the whole trilogy. Lucky me. It's the Dirty Trilogy, and the first book is called Dirty Sex, and it's out now in ebook form, and in a lot of places the official release date's next week. Her name's Ashley Bartlett, and you can check out her blog next Wednesday at Ash, A-S-H, Bartlett, B-A-R-T-L-E-T-T, .wordpress.com, and I'll throw in a link down here so you can take a look at it. So, Ashley Bartlett, you're up next. This is Carson Tate's video log, signing out.